Hey everyone, and welcome back to Advanced English Practice. Today, we're going to be following Maya on her latest journey. What challenges is she up against this time? And I have some exciting news to share with all of you. But you'll have to stick around until the end of the video to find out what it is. For now, let's jump into the story. Maya stepped out of the metro station with a quiet sense of accomplishment. She had arrived in the city just 3 days earlier for a professional training program, and this was her first time exploring the area on her own. The morning air carried the mixed scent of fresh coffee and traffic fumes, creating a strangely energizing atmosphere. She pulled out her phone and checked the navigation app again. According to the map, the cultural center she wanted to visit was only a 15-minute walk away. Simple enough, she murmured to herself, tucking her phone into her bag. As she walked along the crowded pavement, she felt reassured by the steady flow of people moving with clear purpose. Tall glass buildings towered over narrow streets lined with small cafes and bookstores. Every corner seemed vibrant and inviting. However, after about 10 minutes, Maya noticed that the street names on the signboards no longer matched the ones on her map. She paused, slightly puzzled, and refreshed the app. The signal flickered before completely disappearing. "That's odd," she whispered, trying to remain composed. She retraced her last few steps, attempting to recognize familiar landmarks. But everything suddenly looked unfamiliar. The once welcoming streets now felt overwhelming. A faint wave of anxiety crept in, but Maya took a deep breath. "It's just a minor detour," she reassured herself, though she wasn't entirely convinced. Determined not to panic, Maya decided to continue walking, hoping she would eventually stumble upon a recognizable location. She had always considered herself reasonably good at navigation, and she didn't want to admit defeat so quickly. The streets gradually became quieter, and the lively cafes were replaced by rows of office buildings with identical gray facades. The absence of crowds made her increasingly uneasy. She checked her phone again, but the screen stubbornly displayed no internet connection. Maya felt a surge of frustration. She realized she had relied entirely on digital navigation and hadn't bothered to memorize any key directions. The thought irritated her more than the situation itself. She approached a security guard standing outside one of the buildings and politely asked for directions to the cultural center. The guard listened carefully, but spoke with a heavy accent. And despite his genuine effort to help, Maya struggled to understand his instructions. Not wanting to appear rude, she nodded appreciatively and thanked him. However, as she walked away, she realized she had only grasped fragments of his explanation. Her confidence began to waver. She felt a growing sense of vulnerability, standing alone in an unfamiliar neighborhood with no clear plan. For the first time, she admitted to herself that she might actually be lost. Refusing to let panic take control, Maya stepped into a small convenience store. The cool air inside immediately calmed her nerves. She purchased a bottle of water, partly because she was thirsty. and partly to give herself an excuse to ask for help. The cashier, a middle-aged woman with a warm expression, greeted her politely. Maya explained her situation carefully, choosing her words with precision to avoid confusion. The woman listened attentively and then pulled out a printed city map from behind the counter. "Technology is helpful," the woman said with a gentle smile. "But sometimes traditional methods are more reliable." Together they studied the map. Maya traced her intended route and quickly realized she had taken a wrong turn nearly 20 minutes earlier. The mistake had gradually led her farther away from her destination. The cashier marked the correct route using a pen and gave Maya detailed instructions. She emphasized several recognizable landmarks that Maya could use as reference points. Maya felt an immense sense of relief. She thanked the woman sincerely, appreciating not only her assistance, but also her patience. As she stepped back onto the street, she felt more grounded. Holding the physical map in her hands gave her a surprising sense of control and reassurance. Maya followed the directions carefully, paying close attention to every landmark the cashier had mentioned. She began to feel confident again as familiar surroundings slowly reappeared. However, just as she approached what she believed was the final intersection, she encountered an unexpected obstacle. The road was blocked due to construction work. Large barriers and warning signs forced pedestrians to take a lengthy detour. Maya felt a momentary surge of discouragement. She considered turning back, but quickly reminded herself how far she had already come. Determined not to give up, she carefully examined the map and searched for an alternative route. She noticed a small pedestrian pathway running parallel to the main road. It looked less crowded and slightly confusing, but it seemed to lead in the right direction. As she walked along the pathway, she paid closer attention to her surroundings. She noticed street musicians performing, local vendors setting up small stalls, and residents going about their daily routines. The detour, although inconvenient, offered her a glimpse into the authentic rhythm of the city. To her surprise, she found herself enjoying the experience rather than resenting it. After nearly an hour of navigating unfamiliar streets, Maya finally spotted the cultural center. The modern building stood proudly at the end of a wide plaza, exactly as she had imagined it. She paused for a moment, allowing a wave of accomplishment to settle in. The journey had taken much longer than expected, but it had taught her valuable lessons about patience, adaptability, and self-reliance. As she entered the building, she reflected on how easily she had allowed technology to become her only guide. She realized that getting lost had forced her to interact with strangers, observe her surroundings more carefully, and trust her problem-solving abilities. Later that evening, as she returned to her accommodation, she deliberately chose to walk without using her navigation app. She relied instead on memory and the landmarks she had noticed throughout the day. Although she still felt slightly uncertain, she also felt empowered. Getting lost, she realized, was not always a failure. Sometimes it was simply an unexpected opportunity to grow more confident and aware of the world around her. And for the first time since arriving in the city, she truly felt like she belonged there. For shadow practicing, listen to the story again, pause, and repeat out loud. Or if you're looking for a hassle-free, distraction-free shadow practicing experience, or if you want to practice as many times as you like, whenever you like, without needing to come online, then I've got something special for you. And it's not just shadow practicing. You'll also get a written story, vocabulary explanations, a normal speed audio track, a listening and writing practice workbook, and of course, dedicated shadow practicing audio. Paying off, that was the exciting news I've been waiting to share with you. The link is in the description below. Go check it out. I'm really excited to hear what you think of it. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, happy practicing.